This is SBS World News with Ricardo Gonçalves and Daniela Ritorto.
Good evening. He swept to power on a wave of hope, declaring this time must be different. Barack Obama was elected president when the US faced, in his words, 2 wars, a planet in peril, and the worst financial crisis in a century. On his victory night, he stood before his supporters in Chicago and promised that together they could put their hands on the arc of history and bend it once more toward the hope of a better day, maintaining, yes, we can. Today, after 2 terms in the White House, he returned to Chicago for his final speech, an opportunity to thank America, to praise democracy and warn of the threats it's facing, to offer optimism and to insist that after 8 years, yes, they did.
For his goodbye speech, Barack Obama chose Chicago. It all began here for America's first black president. It's where he claimed an unlikely victory in 2008 and where 20,000 supporters and staffers gathered in near carnival mode showed they loved him.
Tonight it's my turn to say thanks.
In part, this was a final victory lap.
If I had told you 8 years ago that America would reverse a Great Recession, reboot our auto industry, and unleash the longest stretch of job creation in our history.
Supportive chants peppering his address.
If I had told you that we would win marriage equality and secure the right to health insurance for another 20 million of our fellow citizens, you might have said our sights were set a little too high.
And there was legacy protection on the issue of race. After a presidency dogged by mass shootings on American streets, he said hopes for a post-racial America were never realistic.
Race remains a potent and often divisive force in our society. Race relations are better than they were 10 or 20 or 30 years ago, no matter what some folks say. But we're not where we need to be.
Racial divisions were among what he termed threats to American democracy, the others including economic inequality, with a nod at the concerns that propelled Donald Trump to the White House.
Stark inequality is also corrosive to our democratic idea.
Another threat, different segments of society retreating into bubbles, where opinions aren't based on fact.
And increasingly, we become so secure in our bubbles that we start accepting only information, whether it's true or not, that fits our opinions.
Beyond committing to a peaceful succession, there was no specific mention of Mr. Trump. Indirectly, the speech was full of it, a warning against being governed by fear.
Democracy can buckle when it gives in to fear.
Warning, too, against divisiveness, Mr. Obama quoted Atticus Finch, the hero of To Kill a Mockingbird. He said that to understand a person, it helps to climb into his skin and walk around in it. He urged political participation, a message likely aimed at the many Democrats still shell-shocked at the election result.
If something needs fixing, then lace up your shoes and do some organizing. If you're disappointed by your elected officials, grab a clipboard, get some signatures, and run for office yourself. Michelle?
There were emotional tributes to nearest and dearest.
You took on a role you didn't ask for, and you made it your own, with grace and with grit and with style and good humor. Malia and Sasha, under the strangest of circumstances, you have become 2 amazing young women.
Sasha, conspicuously absent, she has an exam tomorrow.
To Joe Biden, you were the first decision I made as a nominee, and it was the best.
He ended by harking back to a 2008 campaign slogan.
Yes, we can. Yes, we did. Yes, we can. Thank you. God bless you.
Whether he did or not, Barack Obama leaves the presidency popular with 55% approval. Also politically humble, but still talking a vision of progressive change. Raina Saram-Pyatt, SBS World News.